Go. Okay, we should be on Facebook Live now. So good afternoon, good evening to everybody watching on Facebook. This is the June meeting of the Mira Mesa Town Council, our first attempt at a virtual meeting. We're going to go ahead and give a brief introduction of everyone who's in attendance today, who you'll hear from. And after that, we'll get on with the program. Yeah. All right, so let me go ahead and unmute everybody for a moment. We will do introductions of the board members, committee chairs, and guests who are here. I'm your president, Barry Vaz. First vice president, Pam Stevens.
Hello.
Second vice president, Brandy Ludwig. Treasurer, Jonathan Lee.
Hello, good evening.
Recording secretary, Jeff Stevens.
Hello.
Parliamentarian, Ted Bringle. Members at large, Terry Moe. Kanchan Farkia, excuse me. Say hi.
Hello, good evening. Hi.
Richie Ludwig. And Devon Negron. With us also is our scholarship committee chair, Eric Kolbeck.
Hello.
Our Banner District Chair, Jennifer Kwalvik. Our Committee Pride Chair, Marv Miles.
Hello.
Public Art Chair, Leo Angelo Reyes. And the head of Scripps Mesa Fireworks, Michael Spencer. Also with us tonight from the Mira Mesa Library, Ina Gibson.
Hi, everyone.
Councilmember Chris Kate from District 6.
Good evening, everybody.
I believe Luis Pereira is also here.
I am. Good to see you guys.
And from County Supervisor Kristen Gaspar's office, Anthony George.
Hi, everyone. Good to talk to everyone again.
All right, so briefly muting everybody while we start the introductions. First up on the agenda is we're going to introduce the scholarship winners for the Mira Mesa Town Council Vern Goodwin Scholarship. There are 3 winners every year for a $1,000 scholarship. And I'm going to go ahead and unmute Eric Kolbeck, the chairman of that committee, to introduce the scholarship winners. Eric?
It's open to all residents of Mira Mesa, graduating high school seniors that plan on furthering their education. There are a couple requirements to submit your volunteer service hours, write a brief essay about your volunteer service, and to have 1 or 2 letters of recommendations. Every year, like Barry said, we have 3 $1,000 scholarships. Primarily that money is raised by the Mira Mesa Town Council primarily at the Volunteer of the Year Dinner Award, which unfortunately has to be postponed right now. So stay tuned for that. So this year, starting in February, we put out the application for Scholarship of the Year, and we received quite a few applications. We had a committee of 5 working on it: Jeff, Kanchan, Jonathan, Dorothy, and myself as the 5th. And so I want to thank you, the committee. We received a lot of great and deserving students. It was by far not a unanimous choice. So it's great to see how active the youth are. We did have to limit it down to 3 selections. Um, so the the first one is in no particular order. Cassandra Bowie. She has volunteered quite a bit with leading her youth ministry at Good Shepherd School, working with middle and high schoolers, as well as she's the student council president at Mira Mesa High School. We also have Christina Mai. She did a lot of volunteer work with Christ the Cornerstone Academy, and it was her essay was kind of impactful for me because it shed light on like acknowledging the just being able to have assistance with the teacher and seeing how just double the amount of help in the classroom really affects the students. And then we have Vivian Wen. She's the president of the Mira Mesa High School Broadcast Journalism Club, and she has been an active volunteer at the Good Shepherd. Cassandra, would you like to introduce yourself and say any words? Are you able to unmute her, Barry?
She's unmuted. Should be. Yes.
Hello. Am I okay? Hi, I'm Cassandra. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I was really excited when I heard the news. So I'm Cassandra. I'm senior class president, and I've been in class council for about 4 years. I'm really bummed that we can't really graduate in person, but I want to say I'm really excited to further my education at UCSD as a human bio major, and hopefully I can get my doctorates in the future. And I think during college, I'm still going to be actively volunteering in the community. I know that I'm going to continue volunteering at Good Shepherd as an adult for our youth ministry. And then also I would like to come back and help Mira Mesa High School's ASB whenever I can. Thank you.
Thank you, Cassandra, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Christina Mai.
Hi everyone, my name is Christina Mai. I'm graduating from Mira Mesa High School, and I am attending UCSD this fall for electrical engineering. In the future, I plan to keep helping out with CTCA and as well as other organizations in the Mira Mesa community, especially the Mira Mesa High School's biotech program. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, and congratulations. And Vivian Wen.
Hi, everyone. I would like to say thank you so much for choosing me for this scholarship. I'm very excited to further my education. And at the moment, I'm a senior attending my last week at Mira Mesa High School. And again, it sucks that we can't be physically at school to graduate with each other. But in the fall, I'm going to be going to University of Berkeley to study computer science. And basically, I have a few words to say about Mira Mesa. It's a beautiful community, and I'm so grateful to be a part of it. It's so diverse and full of cultures that just makes this community unlike any other. And when I get to connect and work with younger students at Good Shepherd, it's just something that really fulfills me as a person and inspires me to do more work for others.
All right, thank you, Vivian. We'll be getting you out your each of you your certificates and your scholarship. And I believe Luis or Chris Kate, did you also want to say a word to these 3 recipients this year?
Yes, thank you very much. And thank you all to the Mira Mesa Town Council and Eric and everyone on the committee for doing this work. And I bet it's always difficult to have discussions about the applicants who submitted for the scholarship. But I think even just based on the few words that they all just spoke, I think they're all very well deserving. I think the the impact they've had on this community, on their communities, is something that is to be recognized and to be promoted throughout our entire community, get others to be involved as well too. And for the two that are staying local at UCSD, I think even in their comments mentioned that they still want to continue to volunteer locally is of the utmost importance, and something that we as Mira Mason should be thankful for. And for Vivian, who's going off, when she comes back, we'll make sure that, and she will be coming back, I'm going to make sure that, because we want good people to stay here in Mira Mesa and in San Diego, that she continues to still be involved in the community. So just want to say thank you for what you have done and promoting Mira Mesa and supporting your local community. And we wish you nothing but the best of luck as you go on into your educational endeavors.
And you also issued them a proclamation?
Yes, we have our office proclamations as well too, that hopefully that will get out to each of you as well too. So again, congratulations.
So I do have those proclamations as well, so I'll be getting those to you in the coming days. Thank you and congratulations again. And I think that covers the 2020 Vern Goodwin Scholarship.
Thanks to everyone. Thanks to our scholarship winners. We're going to move on next to Scripps Mesa Fireworks. Michael Spencer is here. Let me go ahead and get him on. And he is going to introduce the winner of the Scripps Mesa Fireworks T-shirt design contest and talk a little bit about what's going on with the T-shirts, etc. So, Michael? Michael still online?
All right, I have my sound up. Can you see my screen? Well, my sign?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm operating without a net right now. I have the phone turned around, so I don't see what you guys are seeing. If I had it flipped, then you'd be seeing the sign backwards, and I don't want to give the wrong message about the fireworks. This year, we had 243, I believe, entries out of 10 different schools. That ranged from Mira Mesa and from Scripps Ranch. A very significant amount of participation again. This year, we are very honored that our winner comes from Mira Mesa, from Hage Elementary. Our youngest entry, or our youngest winner so far at 2nd grade, Jana. And if the design could be shown on the screen from Jeff's computer, if possible. Our winner receives a T-shirt eventually. Unfortunately, the situation has made it really difficult to get things made. We always go local. There's a local company that we use here in Mira Mesa. And as soon as they become up and running again, we will start getting T-shirts out there. So she will get a T-shirt. She should have in the mail, and I believe it has arrived, hopefully, a gift certificate to Barnes & Noble for $25 as a congratulations. She received this afternoon a letter of commendation a certificate of award from Scripps Mesa Fireworks, a poster, which can either go on her wall or saved nicely, of her design. And one of the big secrets we always, hide back is that Council Member Kate provides a letter of commendation, and she received that this afternoon as well. And I would like to thank again Councilman Kate's office for this. It's always a great honor to receive, from your local representatives, any kind of commendation. And it's one of the great things that I think about this contest, that we've got, such a great relationship with Councilman Kate's office. Every winner has received a commendation letter. And like I said, T-shirts will be coming out soon, hopefully, and she will get her winning shirt. And all all the people in Mira Mesa hopefully will be able to get those too.
Hi, Jana. Did you want to say a few words?
Thank you for selecting my design. I was really happy, and I'm Raina from Hayes Elementary.
Thank you so much. It's a wonderful design. I can't wait to get to it. Council member or Luis, did you all have anything to say?
Yeah, thank you, Barry, and thank you, Jana, for submitting. I mean, 1 out of 243, that's fantastic, and that's definitely, that needs to be recognized, and just the image and the drawing that you made is just, I don't know, I got all the feels when I saw it. So I think you did a fantastic job. I think it's representative of this community, and thank you for submitting, and congratulations. And I can't wait to see it on a t-shirt as well too. And thank you to Michael and all the volunteers for Scripps Mesa Fireworks and all the time that you put into. I know it takes a lot of hours and a lot of planning and promoting and fundraising. And so I want to just thank all of you who are involved as well too for the commitment that you have to this community. So thank you again, and congratulations to Jana.
Congratulations to Jana, and again to Vivian, Cassandra, and Christina. We thank you all for being with us tonight, and congratulations. All right, we're going to go ahead and turn the floor over for a little while to Councilmember Chris. Let you say a few words. For those who are watching us on Facebook, if you have any questions, you can message us, and we'll pass them on to the council member. For those who do not have the ability to message us on Facebook, your meeting notice had a phone number. You can text that number. We'll get the question, and we'll go ahead and pass it on. So I'm going to go ahead and I think I've got the council member unmuted. We'll let you have the floor.
Thank you, Barry, and thank you again, everyone, for allowing me just to kind of give an update on where we're at with the city. First and foremost, I want to say thank you to everyone from Mira Mesa for showing up virtually to our budget hearing that was dedicated to public comments a few weeks back. I will say the message was received loud and clear from both the mayor's office and all of my colleagues on the council in regards to prioritizing funding for Gold Coast and Parkdale for the full reconstruction of those two streets. I think it was incredibly important to showcase the need from the community at a time when we are having some budget challenges due to the pandemic and what we're seeing for the upcoming fiscal year that begins on July 1st. When we originally got the proposed budget from the mayor back in April, the idea was that we were going to have a loss of revenue totaling about $250 million between this current year that ends in June and the next fiscal year that begins in July. We have received an update to that in our May revise, and that number is now ballooned to $350 million in the loss of revenue. And we are thankful that we were able to receive about $250 million in federal CARES Act money. And we originally had the idea, and I personally had the idea, that it would be difficult to somewhat spend those dollars on various services. But because of guidance we received from the Department of Treasury, we were able to utilize all those dollars to various needs, particularly our public safety, whether it be police officers or firefighters. The Department of Treasury was able to relax some of the restrictions and utilize those funds on public safety services that weren't necessarily directly related to responding to COVID-19. So that really allowed us to be a little more nimble in some of the funding. But despite that, we are still seeing the potential for some pretty drastic cuts that we're hopeful to mitigate when we have our deliberations on June 8th, which is next week of the budget. A couple of things that I want to primarily focus on, and what my focus is going to be on, and what it was. First and foremost, has to do with libraries. Despite the May revise and some of the ability to spend down those care money and offset general fund dollars to go to other services, the mayor still had in his May revise the closing of libraries on Sundays and Mondays. In my opinion, that is wholly unacceptable. Libraries are a core city service that should be mitigated. We released our budget revised memo last week, and our top priority was to reallocate the $7 million that is needed to undo the cuts on Sundays and Mondays to our libraries. I have told the mayor that there is a strong likelihood that I will not support a budget that cuts days from our libraries. I think that's incredibly important, especially given the fact that when we get out of this pandemic, we're going to need the libraries across the city as a resource to our residents. So that comes first and foremost in my eyes, is making sure that we are not cutting libraries on Sundays and Mondays. The other priority that we had going into this that we're thankful that the mayor addressed was the closure of our pool hours and park and rec hours. So we are hopeful that that remains in place going into our budget deliberations next week, that we're not seeing those cuts to, again, what is another core city service when it comes to our park and recreation. Lastly, coming back and reverting back to Gold Coast and Parkdale. What you won't see in the budget, and I think that is okay for now, is the direct allocation of funding to Gold Coast and Parkdale. What we are including in the budget, though, is funding to pay the first year of debt service on issuing bonds that we have been told would include the first year funding needed for Gold Coast and Parkdale. That's not confirmed yet. We haven't seen the list of projects that the mayor is going to release that will be paid for by debt, by bonds to pay for those capital improvements, but we have been told that they are strongly considering Gold Coast and Parkdale. What we're thinking on timing on when that list will come out will probably be in the fall. We're thinking September, October. It could be sooner. If we get confirmation sooner that the final project list has been submitted, we will be sure to let everyone know. But we are very, very confident that we will receive the first year of funding for the project. Because the length of the project and how long it takes to do the two streets, this will go and coincide with two budget years. So not only fiscal year 21, but also fiscal year 22. And again, us being in office at that time, we can continue to advocate for the next installment of funding for that project. And I will say, once we get started on the project, it is highly, highly, highly unlikely that they're going to stop the project midway and not fund the remainder of the entirety of the project. So I want to say thank you to everyone who made their voices heard. Again, I think that was a strong showing in the midst of it all. And when you have other council members who are telling you we get it, the message is received, I think that's a strong indication. So we will continue to work with you all in regards to when that project list comes out that will be funded by the bonds, and to ensure that the council, again, will hear from you all to not remove that project or anything else, because again, until the money is in the bank for this project, I'm not taking anything for granted, and we want to make sure that we see this through the end. So with that, that's just kind of a brief highlight. If you go to our website, sandiego.gov/council/CD6, you can see our budget priority memo that we released that showed kind of where the priority funding are. We also include the refunding of things like weed abatement, graffiti abatement, brush management, things that are really important to our council district given our proximity to canyons and fire hazards. So those are things that, again, are going back to those core city services that we asked to be refunded, and we also provided the funding source of where the money can come from to pay for those items. So with that, Barry, I'm happy to answer any questions that anybody has.
All right. If anyone who's here in the meeting with us wants to ask a question, go ahead, unmute yourself and ask. For those who are watching on Facebook, I know there's about a 5-second lag. Go ahead and message your questions. Those who got the newsletter, the email reminder of the meeting, there's a phone number in there. If you're not on Facebook, apparently you're able to watch the meeting, but you can't message without an account. You can text to that phone number, and we're going to pass the questions on to the council member. So we'll go ahead with the first question. I think Ina has a question.
I do. It's not so much a question. Thank you for all your support of the library. I just want to say thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for what you do, Ina, as well, too. We really appreciate it.
You know, we're trying hard to meet the
I know
needs
you
of
are.
so many right now. So I'm glad that, you know, if we can keep ourselves open as much as we can, that serves the community well. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
We have a first question from Facebook. Isn't Park and Rec cutting back brush management in the newly proposed master plan?
Yeah, so in the budget, the May revise that did really, the original budget and then the May revise didn't address it, was a cut in brush management and the level of service. So for the last couple of fiscal years, myself and Councilmember Kersey have worked incredibly hard to advocate for an increased level of service for brush management. I believe the number is about $800,000 was removed from the contract for this upcoming year in brush management, which would provide a very long backlog of areas that could be addressed. So what we have asked is to maintain that level of funding. The unfortunate thing is that because of the rains that we've had, the inability for the crews to go out, they would not finish by the end of this fiscal year, by the end of June 30th to catch up to everything. It was made known to us that if the level of funding is not continued on into the new fiscal year, the dollars that we didn't even spend for this current year would be lost. It'd go back to address the budget deficit. So we wouldn't even gotten the level of service we've gotten this current year because we weren't able to address all the different areas because of the rains. We weren't allowed to go out and do the work. So it's very frustrating for, again, someone like myself and Councilmember Kersey because of the areas that we represent and the danger to these areas. So I know both of us are going to be advocating for maintaining the level of funding for brush management and those contracts.
Okay, and there was a quick follow-up to that. It's proposed to go from 21 months to 26 months, and it sounds like that's
which is the time frame, exactly. Yep.
Barry, if I can ask a question. The city is proposing a whole new park and recreation policy, and I have a lot of concerns about it. In particular, they're abandoning the population-based acreage requirement and replacing it with something a lot fuzzier. And my concern is that in doing that, they will then stop trying to get the acreage and always go to these other sort of equivalencies that don't provide as much. And the other thing that I'm very concerned about is that since they're also phasing out the FBA program, that they'll then see our FBA as a piggy bank that they can use in other parts of the city instead of using it to complete our community plan as planned.
So if you recall, I spoke to the town council in January and raised this issue as this is something that is being considered. And we had a meeting of our active transportation infrastructure committee meeting that originally discussed this. And we were supposed to hear an update, but because of everything that happened, we no longer have committee meetings, so we haven't heard the second round of that, and the council hasn't heard as well. And back in January, I spoke to the town council, and at the original committee meeting, I think it was in November of last year, I raised those same concerns. I was promised, and we were promised at that time, and I don't know your interactions with Tom Tomlinson or others on staff since then. The concerns that I had was, and what we asked were those communities that were not yet built out, would they still have the FBA in place to finish the projects until full build out. We were told that was going to be the case and that there are projects in the north part of the city that, again, are not built out that would not be subjected to this. Again, the devil's in the details. We haven't received the actual policy or ordinance or anything the like that would ease my concerns in that regard. But I hear you loud and clear in that the concern that I had in the way it was mentioned is that the funding would go to transit priority areas and projects in those areas, and FBA or DIF funds from other parts of the community can be used in other parts of the city with no real guarantee that the development that occurs in those areas would receive the like amounts of improvements in those areas. The only check would be the council, who could dictate where those funds go. So even if a future mayor were to propose funding for a project in Mira Mesa or Kearney Mesa or Claremont in my council district, the council at the end of the day, a majority of members could take those funds and utilize them in another part of the city. And that is a huge concern that, I have, and I think everyone in our community should have, especially areas where we're redoing our community plan updates, potentially allowing for more growth, and wanting to see the infrastructure improvements in those areas to coincide with that development.
All right, we're clearly on the same page. I just keep an eye on it because you're the one person who can help us do something about it.
Yeah.
So.
And again, we were supposed to hear an update in February, March timeframe based on what was stated to us last year, but because of where we're at, I'm not sure what's going to happen. I know it's gone to CPC. I think it's coming to the Planning Commission sometime soon. I'm not sure of the schedule. It eventually come back to committee as well too. But there's a lot of questions. My concern is that there are areas of the city that are already considered built out that haven't seen a lot of development impact fee funding that would want access to that capital. And I think they outnumber us in communities that haven't been built out yet. So it's going to be somewhat of a fight. I can see that coming.
Right.
Do any of our other guests online have a question? Board members, committee chairs?
You guys are too easy tonight.
I see a couple questions online.
Okay.
Well, someone asked if there's still no fireworks this year. No, I'm afraid there are no fireworks this year, but that's not really a question for Chris. Another question about breast management. It's supposed to go from 21 months to 26 months.
Yeah.
You know anything about that?
That's part of the funding. The lack of funding, they extend the time period by which they get to every area. So that's why we're trying to increase that or maintain that level of funding.
Okay, I think that's all the questions from Facebook. I haven't seen any come in on the text messaging. So I think that's it, unless any of our committee members have something. Hey, that was it. Not too many questions tonight.
I think Dorothy has one.
Ah, good.
I see her
Dorothy?
hand raised.
Well, this is pretty topical. In terms of freedom of speech in the city and in our country, what do you think the limits of freedom of speech should be? Would that be violence? Would it be burning the flag? Would it be taking away somebody's Twitter account? Or what do you think?
That's a big question.
It is.
I don't think speech is violence or violence is speech. So I don't think that is considered freedom of speech. But I think the First Amendment covers a very wide range, and I am not pro limiting of speech, and that could be things down to burning of a flag. I think that's been ruled on. I think I don't support the act of burning a flag. I would never support that. But I would not want to limit someone's right to do that. because I think that becomes a slippery slope. So, if I am not injuring somebody or someone's not injuring me, or resorting to violence, I think that speech, it covers a wide array of different topics, and far be it for me or anybody in elected office to try to limit the First Amendment of anybody.
Yes, thank you.
Of course.
Okay. All right. So as I said, I don't see any more questions coming in Facebook or text message.
So real quick, Barry, if you don't mind, just one concluding comment, if you don't mind. Just we will continue to stay in touch with all of you in regards to what happens with the budget, as well as when we can expect some more information on Gold Coast and Parkdale. I will still want to have some folks show up, whether in person or virtually, whatever happens by that time we get to that point in time, to continue to express to the council, my colleagues, about the importance of this project. So we will continue to stay in touch. And obviously, if anybody has any other questions moving forward on any topics, to not hesitate to reach out to us. Thank you, Barry, and thank you, everyone, for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to move on now. We have Anthony George with us. Let me go ahead and bring Anthony in. I think I have the right line unmuted. Are you there, Anthony?
All right. Yep, I'm here. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for your time, and I'm glad everyone got together, had the opportunity to get together today to thank the community and recognize the scholarship winners today. So I just I had a couple announcements or quick comments. I know tomorrow we are setting up to open up local beaches in the county of San Diego. But health officials do want to remind folks that they must maintain physical distancing and wear face coverings when close to others. Obviously you can bring your own towels, chairs, and relaxing sunbathe. But we want folks to, maintain the social distancing and as a friendly reminder. And, San Diego has progressed very rapidly. We're doing such a great job here in San Diego that we are actually able to accelerate our phase 3 right now. We are voting tomorrow on a different part of the phase 3, which will include salons and some of the other businesses that are going to be opening up as well. Again, youth sports, gyms, nail salons, community pools, sporting events with no spectators. Those are going to be part of what's going to be discussed tomorrow. So if you do have comments or questions or things like that, feel free to reach out to me or send your comments to the county's e-comments page. Obviously, we're not having in-person board meetings anymore, or temporarily at this time. So the new electronic and remote system that we are having with the county has been working fairly well, and folks are able to register their comments and during public comment. And that's running fairly well right now. Obviously, this is a fluid issue. I did send over to Barry earlier tonight the new county health order that will be implemented tomorrow and looked at tomorrow and discussed tomorrow. So if anyone would like to see that county health order and what's new and what's added to it, it will be effective tomorrow. But I did send it to Barry, so you can all take a look at it tonight. Maybe she can follow up and share that with the folks who are interested. But other than that, I want to say thank you so much for the community. Supervisor Gaspar has been big on advocating on safe reopenings and making sure that we're addressing the issues that we're seeing here in San Diego, coming from not only the state or coming up from the state and trickling down here to San Diego. We want to make sure that the things that are being mandated or asked of San Diego is possible and makes sense, because common sense, I think, has played a big role in us getting to where we're at the point now here in the county. So we want to continue that momentum to get San Diego moving forward. So just want to thank everyone on behalf of Supervisor Gaspar And I'm happy to take comments. And if there's anything our office can do, if you have questions or concerns, feel free to reach out to me. My email is with the council. So you guys need anything, we're always happy to help.
Excellent. And again, if any of our board members, committee chairs have a question, go ahead and unmute yourself. For those watching on Facebook, go ahead and send us a comment on Facebook, and we're going to go ahead and pass it on.
All right.
So I would like to see the health order, if he can send that to us.
Yes, I'm going
Absolutely.
to
I
email
sent that to Barry.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll go
Barry.
ahead and
Yeah,
email
Barry's
it out
gonna
to
send that over.
everybody. I will post that on Facebook also. So I have a question from Facebook. It says Supervisor Gaspar is supporting sports teams playing again. Has the governor responded yet to when teams will be able to begin practice and play?
Yeah, that's been a big question and a big thought on Supervisor Gaspar's mind. She did start a coalition called Game On San Diego. If anyone would like to visit that website, it's gameonsandiego.com. She's trying to get youth sports going again. This isn't full competition, but it is more of a restricted, regulated practice and conditioning. A, to get kids active, and B, get them acclimated back into sports so that once gameplay can resume, these players and athletes and students are not going to be susceptible to issues when they start up again. We have not heard word from the governor's office. We have been waiting patiently, and we are continuing to advocate on that, but it is up to the governor's office, as the county cannot be less restrictive than the state. We can only be more restrictive, but unfortunately we're waiting for the governor's response on that, which we have not gotten yet. But hopefully tomorrow's outcome at the meeting will have more information on youth sports, as it will be looked at as well tomorrow for a second time.
Okay. I do not see any more comments or questions on Facebook. Let's see, we have one. Okay, nope, that's it. Do any of our board members, committee chairs have a question? Okay, hearing none, I'm going to go ahead and distribute, as I said, I'll forward that email. I'll post it out on Facebook for everybody to see. And thank you for coming into the meeting tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you, Barry. Thank you, everyone, for having me. I look forward to the next meeting, and hopefully we can get things moving forward. If, like I said, if there's anything we can do at the county, or if there's questions I can answer, whether it just be, random business questions or health questions, we have folks at the county who can get information to you, and I'm happy to help shepherd that.
I did get one last question. We'll call it with this one. Someone has asked, it said the CDC has commented that the sun does kill COVID germs. With that, when can playgrounds be opened?
Well, the problem with playgrounds is, that is definitely an area that's susceptible to gatherings. So, whether the sun does or does not impact the lifespan, the half-life of this, virus, the county's trying to limit potential for folks to gather. Just as you saw with the beaches, once that opportunity was open, we had many people go out. Though everyone did follow, strict guidelines, and everyone's very, conscious of what's going on. I believe parks is still part of the conversation, but we do not have any word yet, as that is a state. The state would have to allow the counties to release park use, which I don't have a timeline on it right now. But as I get more information on regarding parks, I'm happy to forward it to the council, and you can share that as well.
All right. Thank you so much, Anthony. We really appreciate
you guys.
it.
Thanks, Barry. No worries. Thank you so much.
All right. Moving on, we're going to talk with Ina Gibson, librarian at our Mira Mesa Library, about the new contact-free pickup. Ina, are you with us?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So first of all, I'd like to say congratulations to all the winners that were announced tonight, and say how nice it is to see all of you, even though it's not in person. Please know that the library staff misses you as much as you may be missing the library. Staff has been on site. We have done some organizing. We have done some reorganizing. You might see some changes when we finally open our doors. And while our doors have not been able to open up due to the safety concerns for staff, for patrons, et cetera, we do have some exciting news. Starting last week, Mira Mesa Library was one of 11 locations that was opened as a hold pickup service location. And what that meant was last week, any holds that we had sitting on our shelves, we made available for pickup. The procedure is on the website, but basically you called the library. We took your information, we found your holds, and then when you arrived at the library, you called and we brought them out. We placed them on the table. We waved at you from a distance. We wished you well, and then you took your items home. We are not accepting any return items. We can't, the science is not there yet to make us feel confident that we can protect everyone and accept those items and keep everyone safe. Safety is our #1 priority. This week, we have even more exciting news. We have opened up new holds. So if any of you out there desperately need something to read, even if you don't desperately need something to read, you just want it, please go onto the library website, find your books, place your holds. We'll be pulling them every day. You will get an email when we have done that. As soon as we've checked them in, it will give you instructions as to how to make arrangements to pick up your hold. We are happy to do that. If anyone out there is uncomfortable with using the catalog or doesn't have quite internet access or doesn't have a cell phone or whatever, please call the library and we will help you place your holds. This is all baby steps. We can't go much further than this, at least until the science develops to the point where we feel confident that we can keep everyone safe. But if you have any questions, please call the library. That number is 858-538-8165. And staff there will be happy to assist you any way we can. We miss you. Keep reading.
Thanks, Anna. Do any of our board or committee members have questions? Okay. Anybody on
Yes.
Facebook? Hi, Yvonne.
I'm afraid to ask, but do you have any flags for me to pick up?
I think we do, but we can wait.
Okay.
Because we haven't had any more dropped off.
Yeah, all right.
Thank you, Yvonne, for asking. Yvonne is referring to our worn flag program. If any of you out there have worn or tattered flags, we collect them at the library. Unfortunately, we can't collect them now, but once we reopen our doors, you can bring them down and then they are disposed of properly through Boy Scouts and through the American Legion. They will give it a good send-off.
Excellent. Thank you for that. Okay. Well, that is great news. We're taking one more step toward an open library. That's good to hear. We appreciate you coming tonight and sharing that information.
Happy to do it.
Thank you. Last item I had on here just said current events in Mira Mesa. There is one big one that's going on that we have gotten a lot of emails, text messages, a lot of that going on. I don't know if Luis is still with us. I've been bugging him all day, and a lot of people are contacting us regarding these flyers that are showing up and notes showing up on social media concerning rallies or marches going on in Mira Mesa. And as of today, I've talked with the council office. I've talked with SDPD. They are not aware that any of these are actually happening. There have been flyers that come out, and then the flyers are marked canceled, and then another flyer comes out. So the town council is staying in close communication with SDPD. If they know anything, they promise to alert us. And they've said even though there's nothing that they are aware of, they are still going to be spending time in the area, especially with days and times that correspond to these flyers that are going out, just to make sure that nothing is going on. And unfortunately, a lot of it's turning out to be rumor. A group of kids decided they want to have a rally and then they don't do it. So as of right now, no one is aware either overtly from things they've been told or from the rumor mill that there will be anything in Mira Mesa. If we hear of something, we of course will share with the community. And I don't think anyone was afraid of a rally. What we're all afraid of is what we saw Saturday night and Sunday night, which was not a rally. That was unfortunately some people taking advantage of the rally to cause mayhem. And that is the big concern. So peaceful rallies are nothing we worry about. It's those who decide they're a great cover for just causing trouble. All right, so with that said, we'll do a quick round of the board. Is there anything that we've missed, any word that we need to get out on anything?
Now you are.
Okay, I'm unmuted. How about bringing us up to date on Mira Mesa Town Council and Mira Mesa High School graduating class of 2020? I believe we're involved in helping recognize them.
We are. And Jennifer, are you still here?
Yes, I am. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, and well, you can go ahead and speak, and then I have some updated news as well.
Okay. Well, this started off as a way to honor our graduates who unfortunately are not going to get the experience that most of us had of walking across the stage with the families. The Mira Mesa Town Council has ordered a very large banner, I believe it's 40 feet long, to honor the graduates. I'm actually picking that up from the printer tomorrow. It came in early. And that is going to be displayed at Mira Mesa High School. And the artist is a Mira Mesa High School student. So that makes it even more special. We are also coordinating. There are a group of businesses near the high school who want to find a way to express their appreciation also. And we're trying very hard to coordinate that with the virtual graduation next week. If it all comes together, it's going to be a really special display. So Jennifer, you have some updates.
Yes, so literally just today we found out that yes, the official graduation day or the official last day of school is June 9th. But what we've heard, and I just don't want to say this as a fact until I've absolutely confirmed it, but for right now, the principal has said that he would like to do the graduation release of the video, the graduation video, of course, which will be virtual, and then also the giving out of the diplomas, the senior mugs that our class had purchased. So every single senior will get a senior mug that has every single senior's name on the mug. Some special letters that they had written when they were freshmen, several other things. That's going to be the last time. Oh, and the yearbook. So we're shooting, I believe, for Friday the 12th. To go along with that, as soon as we absolutely confirm the date, I want to let you guys know, because this is where we would love to have as much of the community as possible. The town council, the planning groups, everybody that's here to come out at some point in the main parking lot and help cheer them on. We're going to try to make it a celebration. Not last week, but the week before, we handed out their cap and gowns and their yard signs. So if you've driven around Mira Mesa a little bit, you see that some of the yard signs are up, and they're so cool to see. I have one in my yard, as a matter of fact. And we made that such a huge celebration. I mean, we were all cheering. We had police officers were just like parking their cars, coming over, not because we were doing anything wrong, but because they were just so excited and impressed with how we were doing things, and we were doing it safely. We all had masks, we all had gloves. I'm sure many of you guys saw it on the news. They showed it on KUSI several times. So I have that link if you guys want to see that. But anyways, we're hoping to kind of mask and do the same thing when we hand out the diplomas and the yearbooks and the mugs and stuff like that. So love to have you guys come out, within the time frame that we're going to be having. We'll probably be having about 100 kids go through per hour. It'll go much faster than it did the week before last, because they won't be getting out of their car and doing a step and repeat with their cap and gown. They've already done that. So, that's all being put into a video. So I will keep you guys updated, but I just wanted to let you know, to have the community out there would really mean a lot to them, I think. So, but I'll let Barry know, and then Barry, if you could send something out to everybody, saying, hey, come on out, as long as you have your gloves and your mask, at least your mask. If you're not physically handing things to students, then I don't see a reason that you guys would have to have your gloves on. But anyways.
Excellent. We'll send it out to the whole community.
Thank you.
Pam?
Do you have a question?
Yeah, question, just overall approximate time frame that would be a time of day.
It would probably start in the morning and go alpha. So I would say probably 8 to 3 or 8 to 4, something like that. Just so you guys know, because you're going to see a lot of hoopla going on for the next few days in the Mira Mesa parking lot. And that's because we're having textbook, computer, and calculator turn-ins starting on Thursday. So Thursday is the senior day where they're turning in all their stuff, and it's going to be much like an assembly line. And then I think each day after that is like another grade. So it's going to be a really busy time. So if you see a bunch of, don't think it's protesters
Got
or
it.
anything like that, because you're probably going to see lots of cars going through, dropping off their stuff. So there's going to be a lot happening in the next 2 weeks for those kids. And sad to say, just this last Saturday night was supposed to be our prom. So I've had a lot of sad emails and, wow, tonight was supposed to be our prom, Miss Kay, and so, but, what can you do? They're a great bunch of kids. This is just a really phenomenal class.
Those yard signs are amazing. I love seeing them all over the place.
Yeah, they came out really, really good. And again, the students totally designed that, so.
Great.
Well, this is wonderful. Definitely keep us posted. We will keep the community posted on what they can do to help honor the graduates.
That's
and
awesome.
Jennifer, you and I will be working the next couple of days to get the business display put together. And I'll have the banner as of tomorrow afternoon, so we can take a look at that. It's huge.
That'll be great. Yeah, as soon as you get the banner, like I said, Mr. Saban said, look, as soon as the banner comes in, call me, because he goes, those construction guys that are working at Mira Mesa High School, they have all the equipment, and they said, you let us know, we're going to drop everything we're doing to get that banner up. And and I was explaining to Barry earlier that it wasn't until we talked to the construction workers about putting this banner up hanging from the solar panels. That was nipped in the bud real quick by the construction. It was going to be a huge liability to hang something from the solar panels, because if something happened, something were to pop off, hit a kid, hit a car, and then also the way the banner is made, the bottom would probably curl up a little bit without anchoring it down on the bottom. But there's a giant brand new fence that goes in front of the 200 building, and you can see it from the street. It's really visible. There's nothing on it except a couple of small signs, and so that's where Mr. Sabins is wanting to put that banner, and it will stay up there for as long, as we want. That's going to be like a permanent fixture up there for quite a while. And they'll be less likely that it'll get vandalized because it's right there on the school property, so next to the building. But anyways.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll take one
Thank
more
you.
pass. Does anybody else on the committee have something that they want to bring up? committee chairs, board members. All right. But I think we've come to the end of the program. It's a great way to end it with a celebration of our seniors. I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. I want to thank the 24 plus people who are watching us on Facebook right now. We appreciate you all being here with us in our first experiment of virtual meetings, not knowing how much longer we're going to have to do this. And we're going to take any feedback you have on making this a better experience for you. Let us know how you felt about it. We'll try to see if we can get it a little more interactive with you and your questions. You know, it's nice to have them come in on Facebook, but we can come up with a little better way, we will. Thank you, and we will keep bringing information to you as everything is changing quickly. Thanks, everyone. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.